On tonight's show, cuts to the Veterans Association spark backlash over Memorial Day weekend, and a chemical in your energy drinks that could be a silent killer.
Plus, the NBA MVP is from north of the border.
Hello and welcome back to Chicago This Week. I'm Alexia Kadota-Browner.
And I'm Izzy Begley.
We begin today with newly announced cuts to the VA that will limit healthcare access for veterans. The cuts sparked backlash over the holiday weekend intended to celebrate those who served. Our Katie LaCavara brings us this report.
Rockets, red glare.
Last Saturday in Richard Daley Plaza, Chicago mourned U.S. service members who lost their lives.
So together we gather today for a purpose both sacred and enduring, to remember those who gave the last measure of devotion to a country they love more than life itself.
While the weekend is about honoring those who served, massive cuts to veteran affairs could soon affect veteran care.
When I heard a blanket number of 80,000, like many of my teammates, we were kind of in disbelief. How are we going to achieve success and maintain safe patient ratios, deliver safe care?
In March, it was revealed that the Department of Veteran Affairs would cut over 80,000 jobs.
VA is conducting a department-wide review of its organization, operations, and structure.
And soon after the announcement, resources veterans count on started to disappear, including one in Chicago's 19th ward.
My first thought was, I have so many veterans who have been bi-weekly coming to my community and getting services and assistance provided by the Jesse Brown VA.
While the Secretary of Veteran Affairs claims the cuts will not affect VA services, experts say veterans are still worried about what this could mean for the future.
Quit reading what maybes. Quit reading what might be.
Veterans are afraid because they've learned to rely on a particular organization that sees them for who they are and can better treat them. And the VA is better, the best, at taking care of veterans.
Here in Chicago, Alderman Matt O'Shea, with the help of other organizations, have been continuing to provide services to veterans, although they still hope that the administration will roll back on VA cuts.
We put together a Veterans Resource Fair that we hosted here in my community last week. And, I just kind of stood off to the side, but I had veteran after veteran walk up, on the way out to say, thank you so much. Government should be looking at identifying where there's bloat, but 80,000 positions, that's a lot of people who fought for their country and their families slipping through the cracks.
From Richard Daley Plaza, Katie LaCavara, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Katie. Despite tensions between the Trump administration and the VA, Chicagoans still headed outside to celebrate the holiday weekend. Our Anthony Lowe went to Chicago's Memorial Day parade. Anthony, how is Chicago honoring its veterans?
Thanks, Alexia. I went to the wreath-laying ceremony and parade, which honored veterans during Memorial Day weekend.
Attention to Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Memorial Day weekend in Chicago officially began with a moving wreath-laying ceremony and the annual downtown parade, setting a somber yet celebratory tone for this day of remembrance. The air was filled with reverence and community spirit. The traditional ceremony occurred at Daley Plaza, where Mayor Brendan Johnson spoke to service members and their families.
Thank you to all of the brave men and women who have gone above and beyond their commitment to our nation, serving with professionalism, courage, and selflessness. Our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters who serve, who deserve our unending gratitude, a debt of gratitude that can never be fully repaid.
Following the ceremony, attention turned to State Street as the annual parade commenced. Over 90 groups marched down the route and thousands lined the streets, cheering and showing their gratitude.
And Memorial Day is a sacred day for us because, again, like the mayor said and everybody else, we're here to represent the fallen. They gave the ultimate sacrifice, And it means a lot, and that will always mean a lot. As long as you think you're a citizen of this country, you want to be here in this country, sacrifice is something that you need for freedom.
It's extremely special to see the city of Chicago represent my family and millions of Gold Star families that are suffering every single day with the loss of their family member.
This annual event serves as a powerful reminder for Chicago to honor the true cost of freedom. It's a sacred day of reflection, ensuring the legacy of those who gave their lives is never forgotten.
Thanks, Anthony. Survivors of gun violence put pressure on lawmakers to keep guns out of kids' hands. Our Riley Cook brings us this report out of Springfield.
Survivors of gun violence and their loved ones brought their stories straight to lawmakers this Tuesday for First Aim's Advocacy Day. They're calling on the House to sign off on 3 bills, including one they say keeps guns out of kids' hands.
The faces of those lost to gun violence held high by grieving families inside Springfield's Capitol Rotunda.
Hold them pictures up. Y'all got y'all pictures of y'all children. They need to see our babies.
Humanizes. You could share all the data in the world, but when you see the pain of other people, the faces, loved ones on the t-shirts, it's like, oh my goodness.
Some traveling across the country, like sisters Keita and Latrina Miller from Texas, who lost their brother last Christmas.
I'm here today to celebrate my brother James Miller's 40th birthday. He was murdered in Peoria, Illinois, December the 22nd.
I want to share a picture of my daughter, just like so many of us, unfortunately, that's here because our loved ones were taken. We didn't lose our loved ones. They were taken from gun violence.
One bill gaining traction could prevent firearms from falling into the wrong hands.
2 Chicago brothers, ages 8 and 5, got access to a loaded weapon in their home, killing one brother and injuring the other. This gun violence is preventable, and we can do more to stop it by passing Safe at Home.
The Safe Gun Storage Act would impose fines on gun owners who don't properly lock up their weapons and penalize those who fail to report them missing within 48 hours.
It enforces responsible gun ownership, not by taking rights away, but by protecting lives through secure storage and timely reporting.
Similar proposals have failed in past legislative sessions, largely due to Republican opposition. But this time, the bill cleared the Senate. Now, it's up to the House to decide.
We have the momentum on this bill. Get out there, talk to people about it today. Let's get this one across the finish line. We have to, because every day we are losing one more person.
Reporting from Springfield, I'm Riley Cook, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Riley. Gun violence isn't the only thing harming Chicagoans. So are the ingredients in many popular energy drinks. Our Abby Feldman spoke with medical experts about these cancer-causing chemicals. Abby, what did you learn?
Are you aware of what's in your energy drink label?
Taurine is one of the most common additives found in popular energy drinks. And now, new research shows it might play a surprising role in cancer development.
That leukemia cells, very aggressive myeloid leukemia cells, seem to rely on taurine for their growth and expansion.
Dr. Bajaj and her team studied how taurine affects leukemia in mice, and what they found could shape future cancer treatments.
Blocking the cancer cell's ability to take in taurine can delay disease progression and thus improve survival outcomes, as in mice models.
Here in front of me, I have 4 energy drinks that are commonly found in the U.S. Recognize any of these? Well, they all have one ingredient in common, taurine. Dr. Bajaj used this ingredient to test on lab rats that had advanced stages of leukemia and found out that it actually progresses the disease to a later stage. Not to worry too much if you drink these energy drinks daily that have taurine, because she also said that there has been no research done that has shown that taurine causes leukemia in humans. But she also said to be well aware of what you put in your body always.
And that's something Margot McKinney, a truck driver who drinks energy drinks daily, keeps in mind too.
With all of the harmful ingredients and all that with anything, at the end of the day, it's all about how you manage and how you handle yourself when it comes to energy drinks. My heart is beating way too fast, then I won't do it.
While taurine may play a role in leukemia development, researchers emphasize the findings are early and not a reason to panic.
Our data does not at all in any way say that energy drinks can cause cancer or do anything.
As for what's next?
Really, the end goal of much of our research is to find ways to block the cancer cells from taking in this taurine so that we can actually help the people who have disease and improve their survival outcomes and not just our mice.
From Streeterville, I'm Abby Feldman, Chicago This Week.
It's the end of an era and the smallest coin in your pocket. After more than a century in circulation, the U.S. Treasury has officially announced it's pulling the plug on the penny. I broke it down 1 cent at a time. The Treasury Department will soon stop minting new pennies. The push stems from a high cost of production, almost 4 cents to produce 1 penny.
That's not a good trade-off.
The penny was one of the mint's first coins, dating back to 1793. The original design featured a woman with flowing hair symbolizing liberty. Honest Abe made his way onto the penny in 1909 and is still on the coin today. Although a Treasury spokeswoman said the stop in minting pennies would result in immediate savings of $56 million a year, some are worried about its implications on the economy.
There are some real concerns about what it will do for price, and then there are also some concerns about just kind of psychological effects of getting rid of something that's been kind of a staple to our economy for so long.
Both Republicans and Democrats have tried and failed for decades to get rid of America's 1 cent coin. President Trump resurfaced the idea in February. The move has gained greater public support since the pandemic and expansion of cashless payments.
The economy is moving more towards a cashless situation, a cashless economy. That's been big after the COVID pandemic and people just not even wanting to touch money as much.
Takes up space in wallets. It costs more to produce than it's worth. Most countries don't have an equivalent unit of that type. It doesn't make sense why we do.
I don't like them because I have a lot. It's a mess. Like, I have to count every coin.
In a city as big and bustling as Chicago, it's easy to pass by a friendly face without ever saying hello. But a new community initiative is working to change that. Meet Your Neighbor brings together locals, small business owners, and friends, building community one conversation at a time. Our Annalise Cornejo Garcia headed to one of their events to learn more.
Hi, neighbor. It's a greeting, a friendly gesture. And for the founders of Meet Your Neighbor, it's a way to connect Chicagoans near and far.
My personal goal for Meet Your Neighbor would probably be connect as many humans as possible in the ways that matter the most.
Best friends Niso and Talissa took to social media about 7 months ago, spreading the word about unique social events like daytime DJ sets and nonprofit vendor fairs.
We go by community connectors, creators. I love to connect people with my events.
They say it's all been in the hopes that young people can fill each other's cups up, literally and figuratively.
It's about finding and identifying gifts amongst our community that we can use in a more synergistic way.
Meet Your Neighbor has grown into a community of over 4,000 Chicagoans.
I met their photographer, and now I'm designing a logo for him right now, so it's a big network. I guess if I could choose a word, I would think support.
A 2023 study found adults are reportedly feeling more lonely. This is especially true 5 years after the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think we've seen human behavior change obviously over the last 5 years. So I think there are certain aspects of pre-COVID behaviors that we're just taking along and making it new and very intentional now.
New and intentional, leaving each neighborhood event saying, "Thanks for having me, neighbor." Niso and Talissa say while many consider them to be social media influencers, they hope to be known as community connectors. For more information on upcoming events near you, you can head to their social media. Live in the studio, Annalise Cornejo Garcia. Back to you, Alexia.
Thanks, Annalise. Chicago's famous Portillo's announced they will begin serving breakfast, a shakeup to the restaurant's historic menu. Our Grace Friedman brings us this report.
Chicagoans are thrilled because their beloved franchise, Portillo's, is now serving breakfast 7 days a week.
Bacon, egg, and cheese croissants, pepper and egg sandwiches, and chocolate cake donuts are just a few of the new menu items that are getting people out of bed in the morning.
It's kind of one of those things where the opportunity was there. We had so many things already in-house that was easy to make and just put on a bread and call it a tasty breakfast sandwich. So yeah, it's just an easy win-win and kind of why not do it. And so far it's been a big blast.
The Chicago brand is testing breakfast at 6 locations, and customers are showing up early.
Back hectic, back a lot of customers, everybody getting breakfast in the morning. It's mainly more like the construction workers who are like getting off from those late shifts. And yeah, they come get their coffee every morning. So.
And it's not just the local workers fueling up. Others are coming in for a taste of something new.
You know, I think having the ability to get, this sort of good comfort food this early in the morning is good for a lot of people.
Breakfast runs from 6 to 10:30 a.m. and may soon expand. From The Loop, I'm Grace Friedman, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Grace. Next in sports, 2 All-American lacrosse stars face off, and how the powerhouse of the NBA is moving north of the border. Hello, and welcome to Chicago This Week Sports. This week, Simone Roberts and I caught up with 2 All-American lacrosse players. While they are now high school rivals, they will soon be college teammates.
Megan Rockland has been a stud for Lake Forest High School since she stepped on the field here. And she's led her team against New Trier, who they were just looking to find intel on, but they'll see that team in the playoffs in just about a week. Take a look.
At just 5'3", Megan Rockland doesn't tower over anyone, but don't let her size fool you. This midfield All-American is a decade in the making.
She, probably around late elementary, early middle school, she said, I want to play Division I lacrosse. And she set her mind on it.
Now committed to a future at Virginia, Rockland is leaning into her competitive spirit and working to be her best self for her team and herself.
I love the fast pace of the game and how there's so many different elements of it. Whether you're midfield, you get to play offense and defense and ground balls and all of that. And there's just like this fun, competitive spirit that I think the game brings out in people.
With a decade of hard work that's turned her into an All-American, she's now ranked in the state and the nation with a talent that outruns, outworks, and outmuscles the competition.
Before Megan got here, we hadn't been in the Final Fours in a decade. We'd been right under that upper echelon of teams.
She's the only All-American on the Lake Forest roster and the heartbeat of a team that's now made 3 straight trips to the state Final Four.
I feel like if you start chasing stats, then it might develop slower and it might put you in a little bit of a slump mentally. So I try to just play my best, play my best game, and then whatever happens, happens, and hopefully the stats come with it.
While those stats have come, she's focused on how she can help her team now and in the future, no matter the size of the role.
And it's those work hard, gritty, thankless jobs that she's doing this year, even as the best player on the field.
Now with another deep playoff run in sight, Megan is just getting started. In Lake Forest, Simone Roberts, Chicago This Week.
Megan Rockland is looking to top off her high school career against another team, New Trier, who has 3 of their own All-Americans. And Izzy Begley has the story on the other side of the ball. Izzy?
Thanks, Simone. I caught up with the star of Lake Forest's rival team, Allie Trunkenbrod. She's preparing for the state tournament and her freshman season at the University of Virginia.
Allie Trunkenbrod.
Allie Trunkenbrod's last regular season game at New Trier came with a twist, facing off with future Virginia teammate Megan Rockland.
Out to talk to Rocky to us about a game before the game was very close, so getting each other's heads a little bit. But talked on the field a little bit, but we didn't tell each other till after breaks.
We've definitely talked about it. I mean, not sharing game plans or any of that.
Rocky's gonna be talking to the whole game, distracting me, and I think it was cool just for those two who just love to compete and to take pride in how they play. Elevates everyone on the field.
New Trier won that one, but they'll meet again this week in the playoffs.
I'm a big goal for our team to win the state championship.
It doesn't matter who we're playing. We come out, we call games, an ordinary effort, a special day.
From freshman starter to All-American, she didn't just play, she led.
Really humble, very unselfish. I think what separates her is that she's always like, how can I get better?
And it became very apparent very early that her passions were with lacrosse.
She'll suit up for UVA next, joining a powerhouse and chasing bigger dreams.
To win a national championship, for sure. I'm just excited to be a part of it. Having 2 older brothers, she learned how to be pretty tough and competitive.
From New Trier to Charlottesville, Trunkenbrod's story is just getting started. From Winnetka, Izzy Begley, Chicago This Week.
As the weather gets nice, more and more people are lacing up their kicks to go out running. Recovery is a key part of any exercise plan. Our Avery Feldman spoke with a trainer to learn more about running recovery. Avery, how should we be preparing for our next run?
The correct type of stretching and healthy nutrition are most important in preparing for a long run. Running has become America's pastime, or at least a post-graduation crisis for some young adults. But 60 to 70% of running injuries come from improper training pre and post-race, according to the National Library of Medicine.
I find a lot of times runners I've worked with don't really have a pre-race routine. They're not warming up properly.
Colin says pre-running should involve dynamic stretches, like knee hugs, hamstring scoops, and leg swings.
So dynamic stretches are to get the blood flow going, kind of mimic the movements you're going to be doing, getting those muscles fired up. Whereas static stretches are going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds and you're holding those stretches.
Static stretches should be for post-race recovery. It is important to focus on quads, hamstrings, hip flexors, and calves. Runners at the Lifetime Spring Half Marathon had various training schedules.
So I actually follow like a really strict training routine. So I run on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
I try to run every single day if I can, whether that be 2 miles, 6 miles, whatever I can, yeah.
Strength training is another oversight in race preparation.
Takes your mobility to the next level, performance, your bone density, making sure your joints are ready to take on the pavement.
Hydration and nutrition are equally as important.
I'll eat like oatmeal with Greek yogurt, nuts, and like a fruit. Lunch I usually eat like rice, beans, avocado, spinach. And then for dinner I'll eat like farro, salmon, Brussels sprouts, spinach.
Magnesium, potassium, electrolytes, and even carbs are important fuel for the body.
Everything's connected. We kind of just want to tie in our recovery, strength, as well as our cardio all together.
For the first time since 2006, the MVP of the NBA is from the Great White North. Our Jake Mazarski went up to Canada to see how basketball is becoming a mainstream sport. Jake, who won the MVP?
Thanks, Izzy. Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named the MVP of the NBA this season. He's from Hamilton, Canada, a city right outside of Toronto. I spent Memorial Day weekend up north and was able to talk to Canadians about what SGA means to Canadian basketball.
As the NBA season winds down, the league has crowned a new most valuable player. This year, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA is from Toronto, Canada.
So he's very proud of the fact that he's from there. He's played for them for the Olympics and the FIBA World Cup. And in terms of like the MVP winner, I think that the last 5 or whatever MVP winners have been outside of the U.S. I mean, it just goes to show just how global of a sport basketball is.
SGA has put Canadian basketball back on the map.
I think Canada has 23 players in the NBA, the second country behind the States, more than France, Serbia, all the powers you would think of. The game has become mainstream. You drive down suburban streets and there's basketball nets. Even when Steve Nash was winning those MVPs, he wasn't the guy in Phoenix. Shai is the guy.
Torontans were ecstatic about Gilgeous-Alexander winning the award.
I'm more of a hockey fan myself, but I'm pretty excited about it.
It's Steve Nash and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's it. That's Canadian basketball. It's everything to us.
Awesome. He's Canadian. He's a good player. I'm rooting for OKC right now.
For Toronto and the rest of Canada, fans have something to root for the foreseeable future.
Now he's like one of the best players in the world, and won MVP and the face of a franchise and all the responsibilities that come with that, both on and off the court.
Another feather in the cap of Canada basketball. I think it's a great thing that gives young teenagers something to shoot for, and it continues the next guy who have a great impact on preteens and teenagers in Canada.
In Toronto, Jake Mazarski, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Jake. For lifelong athletes, it can be difficult to know what to do after your career ends. Our Blake McQuarrie met with an organization whose goal is to help athletes transition from the game to what's next. Blake, what can you tell us about them?
A unique event in Chicago is helping athletes take steps towards life beyond the game. Total Athlete Connective and Sneakerhead University teamed up last week for a one-of-a-kind experience.
So I talked with him a little bit. His main thing was like, if they're not going to reach out to you, you got to reach out to them.
Inside Sneakerhead University in Chicago, the smell of fresh paint and the sound of conversation filled the room as a group of athletes gathered for more than just fashion, but a push to the future.
And we just realized we were going to have an audience of these athletes that we really want to hit, and we're here to help. And so we decided, what do athletes love? They love kicks. And what are we trying to get them connected with? More connections. So kicks and connections, here we are.
Total Athlete Collective is a growing organization dedicated to supporting athletes beyond their playing days, offering tools, mentorship, and connections for life after the sport.
So we have 4 pillars that we discuss for the Total Athlete Collective. That is financial literacy, professional development, mentorship, and mental health.
Some of these athletes have played since they were 6 years old, including myself. And like once you hang up the cleats, or once you are done, you run your final track meet. I think it really hits them at a different level, and almost at a level to where they're not prepared.
Partnering with Sneakerhead University, the event, called Kicks and Connections, invited current and former athletes to design custom shoes while building meaningful relationships.
What they do is they come in, they draw out their idea with us. From there we have a little like shopping area, so we're going in and we're picking up everything. So we're grabbing, you like pinks or you like nudes or you're going black. We're doing these team colors. So we're kind of just getting your vision together, and then from there you and an instructor, or you with your group and the instructor, you kind of bring it together. We are just here to be a safe space for everyone to come in, unwind, especially since the field or the court can be something that is so serious. Here, we're just here to have fun.
From designing kicks to designing futures, the message was clear that while the game may end, the connection never does.
It's finally starting to feel like summer, and that means the annual Millennium Park workouts are back. Our Amanda Perkowski brings us this report.
It's true, Millennium Park summer workouts are back, now through August 30th, so I grabbed my yoga mat and joined in on the action.
Classes offered include Pilates, yoga, cardio kickboxing, and Zumba, all on the Great Lawn.
To teach in the middle of Chicago just feels so iconic. I get to have live music, which is very rare as a Pilates teacher.
Musical energy is just one part of the sensory experience. The outdoor setting and the vibrant community make classes even more special.
Being here in the elements with the group energy, to be part of a fabric of something bigger than us through the city of Chicago. So I'm all about getting together with community and trying to elevate everything higher.
Participants shared similar sentiments.
You could do yoga anywhere, but being here in the great outdoors with all of these people, it just gives you a really good, not only workout, but good sense of community.
As a teacher, I definitely use every aspect of mind, body, soul. So it's really good for me to have something on the weekends to kind of like de-stress and calm my body down.
The classes are designed for all levels. Participants can either strengthen their practice or discover the transformative forms of movement for the first time.
I think that a good key is everybody to take it at their own pace, regardless of what the instructor is saying, so that they can feel safe and get to know their body better.
Some people are kind of moving in their own way, and that actually that's the beginning. That's part of it. So letting people have autonomy and work through it, and there's a community, so you're looking around, you're like, oh, that's what to do.
It's actually my first time ever coming out here, so my friends brought me along since they've been going for the last couple of years, and they've really enjoyed not only the workout, but just getting to meet new people in the neighborhood. So I really want to learn more about what Chicago has to offer and just try new things for the summer.
Especially as the weather warms up, you're already outside, you're already downtown, might as well come to a free workout.
In Millennium Park, Amanda Perkowski, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Amanda. Now, those fitness events look like a lot of fun. Izzy, we gotta go do one sometime.
I mean, just a short walk over from here to Millennium Park, so why not? We got all summer.
Thanks so much for watching tonight's episode of Chicago This Week.
We'll be back next week with more.
Yay,
so
good
fun.
show.
Great
Wait,
stuff.
I had no idea that Millennium Park even has those events. Did you watch her package?
No, I didn't.
It was her doing yoga outside with people. All of her B-roll was super interesting. So I was like, wow. I told her, I was like, Amanda, well shot package.
I wanted to go over. I haven't